Oh, what an idiot. What a waste. Damn. Hello, everyone. Great to see you again. Today, we're going to make a staple of French cuisine, certainly the favorite dish of the French people, the Veal Blanquette. An easy dish to make that doesn't cost very much. And it's one of the 100 essential recipes that you'll find in my book and that you need to know how to make at home. Okay, so knife sharpened, hands washed, subscription done. We can get going. Let's start. I'm going to start blanching my pieces of veal, starting them in cold water. So I use shoulder or neck. Then, depending on your budget, you take the cheapest part, of course, since the point is also to make inexpensive recipes. I'm peeling the carrots with a high-quality peeler. There's a vegetable prep part, let's say. So while the meat is blanching there, it allows you to prepare all the vegetables. That way we don't have to come back to it later. The carrots, the leek. Now there's no green part of the leek. We really use the very tender part of the leek. Next, I'm going to start peeling these onions. Now, intentionally, you won't see my face right now because every single time that I peel onions, I start to cry. So here is a little helpful tip if you want to not cry when you are peeling onions. Well, you just have someone else do it for you. There. That way you are certain not to cry. The onions are peeled. I'll take care of the garlic. I'll crush it a little bit. Actually, I crush it a bit as it makes it easier to peel the garlic. I'm going to remove the germ that's in the middle. It's to avoid bitterness. I'm going to trim my carrots. I could use them whole or simply cut them in half. I keep the pieces large to retrieve them later, as it's much easier to fish them out that way. I'm cutting the leek in half, same as before, large pieces. And it cooks for a long time, so there's no point in making tiny pieces. They'd overcook. A bit of thyme and a bit of dried bay leaf. So there we go. I'm going to skim off all the unwanted impurities that have slowly risen from the veal. You see, it's really important to do this. Quite a low temperature. You see, it's not boiling, not a rolling boil. It's a gentle heat. It's slowly coming up to power. And now I'm tossing in my vegetables, and here we go. I'm going to season it with coarse salt. Now, I use coarse salt because there's liquid and the coarse salt will inevitably dissolve. There's no point in using fine salt. And some pepper. See, I roll my lemon on the board. That's to make it easier to squeeze later. And then I strain the juice through a fine sieve to avoid getting any seeds in my broth. And now we'll let it cook for a good hour and a half over low heat. So right now I'm going to strain the pieces over and the flavorful broth. I'm going to catch the vegetable pieces and the meat pieces in a chinois strainer. And I collect the filtered juice on the other side. I've collected my juice. Now I'm going to weigh things, but since I was doing the recipe live for the book and to be as precise as possible, there I've weighed it, but don't worry, all the proportions are in my book, so you don't have to do this. So now I'm making the roux with the butter. I'm melting my butter. The roux will help me thicken my sauce. Once the butter is melted, I add the flour. I mix the flour and the butter together. So you just need to mix the butter and the flour. Don't cook it any further. Beyond that, we'll get a brown roux, and that's not what we're looking for. Once it is all mixed together, you can stop right there. Now we incorporate the broth to thicken it. So in small amounts to avoid lumps, you mix the liquid in very well with the roux until it is smooth. So it's going to thicken, obviously. Whisk it well. Now cook it over low heat, okay? Don't have it on full blast or it'll stick. That is not the main goal here to know. It will gain consistency, but it needs to remain nice and coating. I'm putting the rest of the broth to reduce by about half. We're going to concentrate the flavors. In the meantime, I'm going to prepare these fresh mushrooms. So I'll run them under water quickly to wash them. Now don't leave the mushrooms in the water, otherwise they'll soak up even more water. Since we already know that mushrooms are about 75% water, there's really no point in leaving them in water. I'm slicing them, which means I'm cutting them into quarters at an angle. We can even have some fun. Turn it. Now we're going to turn a freshly sliced mushroom. Actually, we'll slice a turned mushroom instead. Yeah, so right now I'm turning a mushroom. It's just for show, really, and to show you that I know how to turn mushrooms. But actually, it's useless for the recipe. Now, if you want to have some fun, you can do it. We'll do another one if needed. This one's for me. This is if you have time to waste. Turn the mushrooms and then slice them. Come on, let's stop playing around. So I've sliced the mushrooms. I turned one or two just for fun. That was for me. And above all, keep the trimmings because they can be used in a fumette, a chicken stock, or a veal stock. There you go. Definitely don't throw away mushroom trimmings. Now I've reduced the remaining liquid by a good half. I'll incorporate it into my sauce. It'll intensify the flavor even more. There, I'm whisking my sauce again to get a coating consistency. It's not too thick either. No need for that. And now I'm going to make some whipped cream, actually. Instead of adding liquid cream, I whip it. It'll add body to the sauce. That's why it's not too thick yet either. And the whipped cream will give the sauce some creaminess and lightness. Well, now I'm going to whisk for, let's say, 5 short minutes, and I haven't switched hands. I'm going to add some lemon juice. That will stiffen my cream. There, always use a small strainer to keep any seeds out. And then I'm going to put this whipped cream into my sauce. The sauce, which is hot, of course, it's not boiling, it never boils. It's on a low heat. A little bit of Espelette pepper, though, first. Always to spice up the sauce. A pinch of salt. All right, I'm mixing. Now I'm going to add this whipped cream, which will finish my sauce. and you'll see the result. I won't say any more here. Now that's a hell of a sauce. There you see. And yeah, I told you this is magnificent. Adding whipped cream really imparts a wonderful creaminess and a lightness to the sauce that you simply don't get if you just use liquid cream. It's just a little trick, I'd say, to finish the sauce so that it beautifully coats the pieces. So now I'm going to prepare a pan to saute my mushrooms. While the pan heats up, I'll get my fresh pieces of meat and all of my chopped vegetables. The pan is hot. Here we go. We saute the mushrooms, we caramelize them. Always a little bit of salt. A little bit of pepper. The pan is hot enough. Now you have to sear them, sear the mushrooms to caramelize them. It's a very hot pan. And this little browning you see on the mushroom, that's what gives the flavor too. It is really important. There's no point in overcooking the mushrooms. It goes quite fast. I'm adding my pieces of meat into the sauce. You see how creamy this sauce is? It's going to coat my pieces. I'm adding the mushrooms, so I just caramelize them. No need to cook them for too long. And I'm cutting my carrots into pieces, big slanted pieces. And now, just look at that, Touche. You've got yourself one delicious hell of a blanquette. Two. That looks really nice. Honestly, it looks incredibly delicious and appetizing. No, look. Do you see the difference? Do you notice the difference? I can definitely see the difference myself. Oh, well, I'm placing it back. And to finish things off, a little bit of freshly chopped chives. Of course, we could have also used some fresh cilantro. It's good. It's a nice change for the blanquette. It works too. Or some chopped parsley. Use whatever herbs you have. To finish it off, this is my little trick. Since there's half a lemon left, I'll zest a bit of lemon over it. And then we'll add some chives, and there you go, my friend. And that's it, boom, finished. There. So let me tell you that once you've made this delicious recipe, you've made an absolutely sublime classic veal blanquette, right? And honestly, you can say it with all humility. It's great. Well, I've enjoyed it, and I'm not done because I'm going to taste it later with Simon, naturally, because he gave me a little hand. If you like this recipe, leave your comments. If you had any trouble, leave your comments. Send me your photos on my Instagram with the hashtag program mentor. It'll make me happy, really, it'll make me happy. And all the equipment I use for my videos, you can find it on my website, okay? Was I clear? Come on, enjoy yourselves, have fun, and see you soon. Bye. To get yourself some quality equipment, everything I use is available on my online store. To make sure you don't miss any videos and become a real chef, subscribe by clicking on my head. And for those who missed my last video, it's right there.